All right, we're going to go ahead and get started, so we're going to invite everybody to come on up and join us up here in the front. All right. Well, we are grateful for all of you that are here this evening, our Meet the Candidate evening. We are grateful for our candidates for being here. We want to thank them for running. It's not easy to do, and we appreciate you doing that. And we're looking forward to getting to know more about each of you this evening. My name is Jared Wilkin, and I'm going to kind of be the master of ceremonies, I guess, for this evening, and keep us running and on time and doing all that kind of stuff. So let me give you kind of the format for what's going to happen. We're going to start with an opening prayer, and then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, following which each of the candidates have been given 5 minutes to tell us whatever they want to tell us. We have opted not to take any questions from the floor, so it should be done in about half an hour, at which point we'll have half an hour that you can go and meet with each candidate at their table, ask them questions, talk to them, all that kind of stuff. Perfect. Deborah's giving me a look, and I was like, did I miss something? Did I forget to say something? But, okay, so we should be good. We're going to go alphabetical in order, so we'll start, when we go through the candidates, we'll start with the city council positions, and then end with the mayor position, and go through those. So we'll start our opening prayer. Minnie Grimshaw's going to give us our opening prayer, and then Andy Losey is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our dear kind Father in heaven, we humbly bow our heads at this time in the state of this great nation, able to meet together under this circumstance, to be able to form at this local level the government that will allow us to live within our freedoms. We're so thankful for this land we've been given, and we pray that as we now hear from the candidates, that we will hear them with the spirit in us that will let us know who we need to vote and elect in order to best run this city and prepare for the future. We're so thankful for all that thou hast given us, and pray that at this time we might use our minds and our hearts to make the best decision and to hear them out and to listen with an open mind.
All right, if you guys please rise and proudly follow me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible.
All right, so I'm going to function also as the timer, and I've told all of our candidates they have 5 minutes, and I'm going to give them a warning with 1 minute left, and at 5 minutes I'm going to start clapping. So if I start clapping, even if they're talking, you join in with me and just clap. That's going to keep us right on schedule, okay? So our first candidate this evening is going to be Robert Bromley. Team right over to him. Oh, and I'll just remind you guys to stay within the flags. The camera is recording that, so as long as you stay in that space, you should be good.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I'm Robert Bromley. I live next door to the Gateway Academy, in the house just east of it. And my wife and I have lived here in Enoch for about 4 years, and we quite love it. And I was invited to run for city council. I thought about it and thought, well, I've been retired for a couple of years. I have time. I have interest. I love the city. Let's give it a go. And it's interesting because vocationally I've been kind of an insurance executive kind of a guy, and helping people retire the last few years. You know, I finally retired myself. But avocationally I've been an actor. I've done a lot of plays, played a lot of good guys, a lot of bad guys. And this feels a lot like an audition. And I like the part. And I don't know very much about my fellow competitors, but I'm sure they're wonderful people as well. I appreciate them and their willingness to serve. I've had a lot of people come to me lately and ask me, what's your stance? What do you want to do? And of course, I think, well, Enoch got translated once, let's do it again. And but on a more serious note, I don't really have an agenda. I don't know that I have something that I want to push. I want to be like the council person that's not running again right now, Jo. She is such a sensitive heart. She is such a good listener and a thoughtful listener. And she respects people's property rights while wanting to move Enoch in the right direction. That's what I want to be like. I want to be somebody you can talk to, somebody that will listen to you, and then respond with wisdom and judgment at the end of the day. And that's all I got. I just want to be like Jolie and the other people I see on the council. I have such respect for them. They're good people. I'd like to be a part of it. Thank you for your time.
All right, Leonard, you're up next.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leonard Correa, and I'm running for Enoch City Council. Just to give you a little background about me, I am a retired crime scene investigator, and I served for nearly 30 years. But during that time, I was involved in gang diversion programs, trying to keep kids out of the cycle of criminal justice system. And I also developed a reading program at a local elementary school to help those who were struggling with their reading skills. So public service is something I've always enjoyed and given my time on. Also during that time, I was elected to serve on the Employees Association Board. And part of the responsibilities that go with that was being in charge of a multi-million-dollar budget that affected both active and retired members. So I'm familiar with being fiscally conservative and looking out for the future of the town members and would be for the city. So that I was always looking towards the future in finding ways to make sure that our membership would be able to have a comfortable and secure retirement. So that's something else to bring to the table. My wife, Robin, and I were attracted to Enoch because it's a great community. The people here are just great. We love the rural feel. We broke ground in 2018 and we plan to stay. During that time, we had attended some council meetings and planning commission meetings to learn more about Enoch. And as I began to learn more, I felt the need to want to volunteer my time or serve. And I was asked to be part of the planning commission at the beginning of this year. And I've been there since, working with a great commission. Just to keep myself on track here. So it was the one thing that really stood out for me for Enoch was the response recently to the flooding. Seeing the community response come out, everybody coming out to help one another, it just solidified, our decision to live here. It was just a very moving, wonderful experience to see and be part of. So that was very much a keeper for us. So some of the things I'd like to talk about council to kind of find a solution for our infrastructure needs and system, as we all can attest to that. A lot of the retention ponds that were engineered for the size didn't quite fit the needs, and a lot of that maybe wasn't taken into account. That 50% of what flowed into that was silt, rather than water. So another issue is right now we have about 25 times more people, more Enoch residents leaving the city to go to work rather than staying here or coming here to work. And I wish to work with the Economic Development Committee to find ways to attract more commercial and retail businesses to meet the services and needs of our growing community and to provide jobs that will keep people here in Enoch. The other thing is, I'm talking about when we look at new subdivisions, I would like to encourage developers to use a more organic layout for their streets, similar to like Cottonwood Street, Appaloosa, Blue Sky, where the curve of the streets tend to slow traffic down, and it makes items safer for the children of our community and just safer overall. So that's what I have to bring, and I hope you vote for me come November 2nd. I'll be proud to serve as a planning commissioner. Thank you.
Somebody knows me as Only you. So I'm Richard Jensen. Thanks for coming out. Typically, I am fairly distrustful of government and the people who try to take power in it. And so you might ask then why on earth I am running for a government position. Solely because I was asked to. I'm a disabled vet and I don't have a job. The VA pays the bills. I got broken up in the Army. And but I hear people all the time say, I wish I was more involved. I wish I knew what was going on, but I've got kids and I've got a church calling and I've got a job and I just don't have time because I'm tired at the end of the day and I have to take care of these other things. And so after hearing that for some time, I thought to myself, well, you know what? The one thing I do have is time. And so I haven't missed a school board meeting all year, and I think I've only missed 2 city council meetings all year. I just started showing up so I could know what was going on and help my neighbors be informed. And about April or May, when I just kept showing up for no reason, I felt like I was always sitting in the crowd alone, except for the people who had presentations. One of the current council members, Jolene Lee, great lady, came up to me and she said, you know, you're here all the time anyway, and you know what's going on, and you understand the issues and the process and the people involved. Would you please run for my seat, because I'm not going to run here. And so that's why I'm running. My table in the back a little bit, I have a little bit explaining more who I am and some history and things I've done. I'm, military, my degree in political science. I had a 120-acre ranch out in Missouri that I ran cattle. I've had 2 house fires that have left us homeless and work a budget incredibly well, and so made us very fiscally responsible and have to know about. I've been able to turn that around. We're in a position now where we're able to move here and pay off our house and take care of things. And so I've been on the other end where I've been able to have extra time to worry about these kind of civic things and try to serve with that time, because I've been in a position where I have received that service. On the back of my thing, I have what I think government should and shouldn't do. I'm very much of the mindset of Ezra Taft Benson, who said the proper role of government is to protect life, liberty, and property, and anything more or less is usurpation and oppression. So in the context of a city, if they were to raise fees or raise taxes and we don't get any service for it, then that would be an abuse of their power, because we're not getting anything for it. It's less than they should be doing. But if they overstep those bounds and they do more than they should, right? If they delve into other realms, then that's not appropriate either. And so I don't have a big agenda of let's make change and let's do these big things. I like Enoch a lot. I like the small town feel. I would like to see it grow and bring in a few more businesses and build a base like that. But I don't necessarily want it to change. I think it's a great place. I do, however, want to make sure that it runs by good sound principles. One of my real concerns is most people think politics. I think one of the things the local government government should do is protect you from bigger government, right? So if a bigger government organization tries to tell you, well, you guys are going to do this and you're going to do that, and these are the rules we're going to impose on you, the role of our city government should be, no, we're not. And they should be able to stand up for you and be a shield from bigger government, and so that they're not trying to impose the values of Washington, D.C., or maybe even Salt Lake City on Enoch. That our values are represented by our government, and that we have people there who are willing to stand up and say, no, we're going to do it our way. A lot of issues I listed on the bottom, things I want to deal with flood and rainwater management, aquifer depletion and recharge. Road maintenance is one I hear a lot. I listed here domestic violence and abuse. I also serve on the Canyon Creek Services, it's the local women's shelter kind of thing. Serve on their community coalition to help prevent that kind of stuff. Thank you. You know, my wife and I are looking at maybe starting a self-defense class for that. We both competed in jiu-jitsu tournaments and those things the whole family does. We like to help people with anti-bullying and self-defense type things. I've been worked with the Utah State Prison. I dispatched for highway patrol and the local sheriff's office here in town. So I'm very much in favor of you know, our law enforcement, those types of things. I've got a wide range of experience in leadership positions, and you know, if you good people are willing, I'd love to be able to use it for the service of the people of Enoch. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Catherine Ross, and I'm so excited to be here today. I have served one term on the Enoch City Council, and the first time that I ran, no one ran against me, so I didn't have to do this. And even though the worst thing to me is standing in front of people and talking, I feel it's important that I'm here, and that I am talking to you, and I'm glad that the Economic Development Committee put this together so we had this opportunity. Some of the issues that I want to continue working on the council is water. We need supply, but also with supply, we need to make sure we have adequate water rights, and that we have the storage, and that we are continuing to improve. I know some of the wells have gone down in the past. We need to continue working on those and keeping them in good condition. One of the other things that I have been asked is, why do we continue building if we're short on water? And one of the reasons is that we require the 1934 water right. The state has come down and they're going to take away the younger water rights. They're going to retire them, maybe to come out of retirement, but as far as we know, retire. And so we, or the city council previous to me, had the foresight to require the 1934 right. That will also slow down building because they're becoming more rare and more expensive. That's not to say that I'm anti-building. I'm not. My husband Lester is in the building trade. My son Asher is now going to school to become a plumber. He's training for 4 years to do that, and I would like to keep him around here and be able to be a local kid. And so I think we need to continue working on where to get the water. Whether it's West Desert, which I know the people there will fight for it, and we might not get it. And so we need to be thoughtful on how we use our water by conserving. And I think one of the things we need to discuss is maybe a tiered system, where smaller families, retirees, that it's just 2 people in the house may pay less. Where in my house, I have 6 in my house. We either will pay more or take shorter showers, which is really hard because I have 4 teenagers and they take really long showers. And also, I want to say that drainage is a huge issue. And as it comes up, the question always is this a Band-Aid solution? Are we pushing the water onto someone else? Are we pushing it into one location that never got it before? And how do we protect the homes that are getting it now? And I think we need to be thoughtful. It needs to be a city-wide plan. We can't just say this area and this area. It has to be city-wide. And I think we're going the right direction in that, and I want to keep working on that. And also, I know we need to talk about growth. Just south of here, I live here on the Nelson farm. I'm surrounded by a farmland mostly. It's growing in that direction. Imagine my surprise when I got on city council and one of the major roads is between my house and my grandfather's house, which is really small. It's a 100-foot road, and there's not a lot of space left for a front yard or a backyard for my grandpa. And so we need to make sure that we are thoughtful, that we consider the residents that have already built and that they are protected, just like the people who were damaged in the floods. Those are their dream homes. And that's what we need to protect, is our homes and our families. And I'm so happy to be running, and I hope that you will come and talk to me at the table if you have any more questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Those are our four candidates for the city council position. We're going to move to the mayor position. And our first person will be Jeffrey Chestnut.
All right, thank you for coming. Last night we had city council, and I normally speak to an empty room, except for Richard. So I appreciate everybody coming. Family and responsibilities. So I've been the mayor for the last 6 years. I came in when Bob Rasmussen got ill, and I came in on a special election at that point and finished the 2 years that he had in his term. And then I ran unopposed, and I'm at the end of that time. And during that 6 years, I think that I've learned a lot about Enoch. I mean, I've been a resident for some time, and I knew my undergrad's political science, and I'm an attorney, so I'm kind of a nerd for this kind of stuff. But I about our community and how wonderful it really is. And we've had some really difficult things. And my last name is Chestnut, and I always hear, the song, "Oh, chestnuts roasting on the oven," my whole life, right? And now it's changed to, "So have you dried out yet?" And it's funny to those who don't live here. Those of you who are concerned about drainage have a right to be. And we have not ignored that issue. The whole 6 years I've been here, that was actually something I came in on. Well, I went and I met with the families down on Half Mile 6 years ago. And I came in the first year, Lisa and Jared Baker came in and put on a presentation about a project that went down in Ivans. And the problem we ran into the whole time, this whole 6 years, has been people in our community say, "Why should I pay for that?" when I'm already taken care of. And I think that's, and I mentioned this last night because my proposal to the council last night, as Catherine has said, a citywide project that has effects, that's not just one more small budgetary line item that does something to make us feel like we're doing something, but actually addresses it. And then back at my table, you can see what I have done with the administration, with the city staff and the engineers and the plan. We're a year into it. And it just happens that a year in, we had the most catastrophic storm that Enoch has seen. I was looking for data on record rainfall, and I don't think I can find anything recorded more significant than August 1st. NOAA actually, so the Weather Service puts it in 12 hours, but we all know it wasn't a whole 12-hour window. In that 12-hour window, between 4 and 6 inches. It's nearly half our annual rainfall in half a day or less. We need to deal with this. So it's not that the city's not doing things. And frankly, I look at the issue of if you don't know what the city's doing, but you're not worried, maybe that's a good thing. If you don't know what the city's doing and you're worried, that's a problem. Because if you don't know what we're doing, and it's a good thing because you don't have concerns most of the time, that means quietly behind the scenes, our little 29 staff. And, I mean, you realize, like, when people come up to me and say, where were the city crews? Okay, there's 9 guys. 9 of them. Staff is less than 30, and it's run on less than $3.5 million a year. So when some people have said to me, well, why did the church come in? I say, well, isn't that a good thing? That we live in a community that the government doesn't have. And I sat in multiple meetings till late at night with the leaders in the state and the regional leaders, and we dealt with the issues. And you can see that I can run and say, look at all the great things Jeff Chestnut did, but I've got a whole trifold about how great our community is. Because I've been fortunate to lead during a period when the rubber hits the road, we all saw who Enoch really is. And there's lots in the works. I'm negotiating on 2 different wells right now that could potentially double our water. I'm doing all the things that everybody's saying we need. It's working, but you don't go out and you say, hey, we're talking to so-and-so about a well. And then somebody else comes in and says, well, I'll talk to that guy about a well. And then all of a sudden the city's got to pay more. Right? So a lot of things are done quietly. And then once the deal is set, we come, boom, out in public, we're there. If you come to city council, you'll know that I want to engage. I believe in engagement, and I can do that, and I will do that for 4 more years. Thank you.
All right, Cam committed, last candidate.
Good to see everybody. Will you do me a favor and take out your cell phone? Hold your hand higher. Okay. Take out your cell phone. You're all beautiful people. Take a picture of yourself and share it, because we should have triple the amount of people here. Themselves. Share it and let people know, hey, our community should be here learning, right? We need this room to be full. While you're there, go to electcamfinlay.com. That's the easiest place to learn about why I'm running. Electcamfinlay.com has the reasons why I decided to run as a writing campaign, right? It's crazy. I don't mind the challenge, but that's where we're at, okay? Learn why I'm doing what I'm doing. We all know, I know most of the people in here. Those of you I don't know, I would love to get to know you. But we know the problems that Enoch has. When it rains, we hold our breath or we hit our knees. I want to fix that. We shouldn't have to go around our house when we get rain. I want to solve that. One of the things that is, for better or worse, my bread and butter, I get people together who are passionate, who are resourceful, and we solve problems. That's what I do in my profession with the governor's office. That's what I do with my family, in my neighborhood. And that's what I've tried to do for the last 11 years in Enoch. When there's a problem, who can help? Who can we get together to solve this task? I'm a man of action. I think it's really important that we act and not be acted upon. Okay, our infrastructure is where it is right now in the city. Do any of you know when the best time to plant a tree is?
About 20 years ago.
20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
The second best time to plant a tree is today. I'm running as a writing candidate for mayor because I want to plant it today. We cannot, C.S. Lewis said, we cannot go back and change the beginning. But we can start today and change the ending. Look on my website. The ending. We need to be more prepared and responsive to natural disasters. We know that. I will get the right people together, the experts. These problems have been solved in many cities across the nation. We can solve these problems. Okay? I want us to be planned and prosperous. We have to work together to manage our growth. If we don't manage growth, it manages us. I want to protect the rural feel that we enjoy, but get resources so that our city can not put fires out, but really plan 10, 15, 50 years ahead and have a financial backing to make that happen. We can do that together. Plan for a prosperous future for our city so that we can thrive, so that our kids can stay here and love being here. The last one is active and lively. I want to help Enoch be active and lively so that we have the amenities that we want to enjoy right here in our city. Again, I'm Cam Finley. I'm going to ask you to take 3 extra seconds on your ballot, fill in the box, and write me in. Okay? Cam Finley, write me in for mayor. We can do great things together.
All right. Thank you to each of our candidates. We'll let you guys go back to your tables so that you can field questions. We do want to thank all of you for coming this evening and taking an active part and learning who our candidates are, and encourage you all to get your neighbors and others involved in the process and get to know who these candidates are, so that we can elect the very best representatives for us as the city. So thank you again for coming, and we invite you to go back and visit with the candidates.